At this time, I'd like to post the colors.
Okay, color. Forward. March. March time. March. Detail. Center. Face. Detail. Out.
Ladies and gentlemen, performing the national anthem, Cadet Corporal Emily Santos.
Present. Oh.
Oh, say, can you see by the town's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the paperless fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bones bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to have the Lawrence Pop Warner football players and Coach Juan Hester come on up to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Many of you don't know, this year I was privileged enough to help assist the A-team in coaching as their trainer. I thought I was going to teach these boys something. Ended up finding out real quick. They taught me. I'm really proud of you boys. Good season. In the midst of everything that was going on, you were there every day and you gave 100%. I'm proud of you. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, boys. Thank you. Thank you, Coach. If I may have Brother Rini Roy come on up to do our opening prayer.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of the armistice that brought an end to the brutal 4-year war in Europe, a war to end all wars, we lift up the men and women who served their country in that war, especially those who were wounded, maimed, or died in battle. We also honor all the men and women of all branches of the service who participated in the wars that followed in the years after that historic moment on the 11th day of the 11th month in the 11th hour. The wars, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and the current war in Afghanistan. May we never forget the courage and bravery of these valiant veterans and continue to give them our respect and honor for their years of service to preserve our freedom and to defend the freedom of others. We ask you to bless them and assure them that we appreciate and are grateful for their efforts and their physical and mental sufferings. Give them hope, peace, and healing. May our presence here today bind us in solidarity with them and with the generations of military who have gone before us, and move us to work for peace. Peace in our own hearts, our communities, and our nation. In gratitude and sincerity we pray, and to you, Father, we give honor and glory forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Brother Leroy. This time I'd like the colors to be posted. Post colors.
Mark time. Mark. Center. Face. Forward. Mark. Mark time. Mark. Center. Face. Color. Halt. Halt. Color. Freeze that. Arm. Order. Arm. Mark time. Arm. Center. Face. Forward. Mark. Center. Face. Color. Hold. Detail. Right. Face. ROTC. Mark time. March. Detail. Forward. March. ROTC form the ring.
Thank you, the color guard. You may be seated. Again, I want to say welcome, and I want to personally say to all those affected by the gas disaster, we are with you. Many who you will see here today are in some way connected to this event. If not affected directly, then directly involved in the recovery from it. From Mayor Rivera's leadership, integrity, and unyielding determination that this never happens again, and that those affected have everything they need to once again be whole. Thank you, Mayor. Because of you, we get to say thank you to our veterans today. He told me we weren't even sure if we were going to have a Veterans Day event, being as this area was the area mostly affected. But the mayor said, we need to be here, that this is part of the healing. Again, I want to, on behalf of Mayor Rivera and Department of Veteran Services and myself, we dedicate this Veterans Day service to those victims and those assisting the victims to the Merrimack Valley gas disaster. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome fellow veteran and our Honorable Mayor, Dan Rivera.
Good morning. It is a pleasure to be here with you today and to honor our veterans. I remember being a kid, watching all those war movies and thinking, oh, I want to join the military when I leave high school, and sure enough, I did that when I left high school. But what I didn't know was that I was joining a brotherhood of men and women that really came from some of the most humbling beginnings in our country to protect what is some of our most precious rights, some of our most precious responsibilities. And it's those kids from these small towns and hamlets across the Midwest to mill cities like Lawrence that went off, like our own veteran service officer left the streets of Lawrence and went off to be, a sergeant for a class out in the military, in the Army, as a medic with 100 airborne jumps. Did I get that right? 100 airborne jumps. Or a city councilor who tried to pay for college by doing tank work, ended up in Germany. Our councilor, David Avenue. But I think that, I think it's a reflection of the type of community we are, the type of society we are, that we rely the most. We give the toughest jobs, the most important jobs. Don't go always to the highest people in the ranks. It goes to the most humblest positions. So I think it's important for us to stand, to give a round of applause to all those who serve. So if you served in the military any time in your life, please stand up so we can give you a round of applause. I'm anxious to hear what BFC Cruz has to say. I think it's, again, the story continues from one generation to the next. The mission never ends, the job's always there, and we're just fortunate to always send great men and women from the city of Lawrence to defend our country. So God bless Lawrence, and God bless the United States of America and every veteran that's ever fought. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Rivera. I had the pleasure of meeting PSC Jacqueline Cruz immediately after the disaster happened. I noticed this young lady in the chaos that was the aftermath during operations to assist those affected at the senior center. We fed over 5,000 people. We handed out donations from across the Commonwealth. Immediately I thought to myself, this young person, how professional, how courteous, and above all, showing a genuine concern for others. Later, sitting in my office with my assistant, later on in the week, with my assistant Donna Macklin Rivera, we were discussing everything that we had seen over the last 72, 96 hours. And Jacqueline came up, She says to me, she was here all weekend. From the beginning of the week, all weekend. You know what I seen? I said, what's that? She said, I seen her in uniform over in South Lawrence. She was activated. So not only is she a part of this community, a part of the disaster, but now the Commonwealth is calling on her to put her uniform on and go out there and help her neighbors. So she was activated. And seeing her as part of the Mass Army National Guard distributing space heaters, Donna reflected to me how her smile struck her while she was out there on a detail, carrying boxes bigger than her. I think she weighs 100 pounds. But carrying silver boxes of space heaters. And she said, all I could notice was her smile. It was genuine and true. Immediately I thought to myself, I said, we should write her commander a letter. Maybe we get an AAM out of it for her, or an ARCOM or something, right? This young American, spent now probably about a week and a half helping her community. I said, why don't we make her the keynote speaker if we hold Veterans Day, because at that point we didn't even know if we were going to have it, not knowing the extent of the disaster. So that's how this came about. Again, I mentioned she was born right here in Lawrence. She's a graduate of Lawrence High School a member, Sergeant Major Ronan's junior ROTC, or was. She enlisted in the U.S. Army National Guard May 31st, 2017. That day, instead of attending her prom, she raised her right hand and swore an oath to this country. Tell me that ain't special. She's a 25 uniform signal specialist, or signal support specialist. I think our future is bright. Oh yeah, if I didn't mention, I know I said she was born in Lawrence, but she was born 11/12/1998. 20 years today. Happy birthday, Jackie. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you our bright future, PFC Jackie Cruz.
Good morning. Sorry, I need to take out my speech. Hi, I'm PFC Cruz. I wanted to share my story, a little background on me. So when I remember the day I raised my hand, I raised it knowing what I was joining, what I was doing, what it felt like, knowing that I could be part of something big, something elite, something I know will make such a big impact on me. I remember when I left off, so the day I enlisted was May 31st, 2017, so last year. As he said, it was the day of my prom, and while all the girls were getting ready and pretty to attend something like a dance, I decided to do something bigger, which was enlist. I enlisted as a 25 uniform into the Army National Guard. September 13, 2019 marks the day that the gas explosions occurred in Lawrence. And I remember thinking how many people were impacted, family, friends, everyone we loved, and how I was ready to take the call, ready to make sure that everyone's okay. I started off in the senior center. We were helping out, making donations, making sure everyone was okay, had everything that they needed. And then after a long day of work, I remember getting a call from my NCO. I know exactly what he was going to say. We're going to be activated. That was the first time I was ever activated, especially with this unit. I knew being part of that unit, the Engineer 101 Battalion, I knew we were very close. We were like a family, which is what it means to be part of the Army. It's like a big family. And we were ready. We stepped off and we grabbed all the stoves and made sure everyone that needed them had them. We wanted people to feel safe and feel like they were being helped. So I want to take this moment to thank all the veterans and those that served, because you guys are truly amazing. And you guys always sacrifice yourselves for those. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Very inspiring. Like I said, our future is very bright. At this time, I'd like to call up Mayor Rivera to present Jackie a gift from the City of Lawrence, his office, and the Department of Veteran Services.
How about another round of applause for PFC Cruz? I want to say to you, I mean, that she's special, but I think where she's comes from is a special place, and that's the Lawrence High School Junior ROTC program. I think it's the biggest, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, the biggest junior ROTC battalion in the Commonwealth. And people say, hey, isn't it, you want your kids to learn that stuff? Military right out of high school is, why aren't they in classes? And I said, the stuff that they learn every day, either in drill, about discipline, about esprit de corps, you can't learn that in the classroom. And it's going to serve them well when they do go to a classroom and have to find their way to a big campus and there's 25,000 people, or when you go to the military and you have to go to basic training and find your way. I'm sure they had Sergeant Major Rowan in the back of their mind when they were going through all those drills. So I think a round of applause for Sergeant Major Rowan and all the work they do at the Junior RTC. So this is presented to PFC Jacqueline Cruz, keynote speaker. She reflects the spirit of a warrior helping others to heal in the face of adversity. On Veterans Day 2018, Lawrence, Mass. Honorary Director David Melendez, and also certificate of recognition and recognition of your honorable service and exceptional dedication in the United States Army. You pay special tribute to your military service, to our nation, and personal sacrifice on advancing the universal hope of freedom and liberty for all. Thank you for making Lawrence better. Just a little bit of housekeeping. We couldn't be able to do these things that we do without our friends in government. And I think it's important to recognize that with us today, State Representative, my State Representative, Fran Moran, is with us today. He's sitting next to my City Councilor, David Abbott. I know I mentioned him earlier, but down front, State Rep-elect Marcos Davos with us as well. Our City Councilor Hannah Levy's with us. City Councilor Rodriguez with us as well. Okay. And our Registrar of Deeds, Paul Michelle with us as well. And they never miss anything that we do in our community. I just want to always proud to have our Chief of Police and our Fire Chief with us, Brian Moriarty and Roy Wise.
Thank you. As mentioned, for those that don't know, it is the 100th anniversary of the signing of armistice to end the war of all wars, World War I. So we are honored to have Ms. Louise Sandberg from Lawrence Public Library, who is an expert historian on the subject and who has a wonderful exhibit at the Lawrence Public Library if you ever feel like you want to go see it. So please join me in a round of applause to welcome Ms. Louise Sandberg.
I just want to say that, before I start, that anybody is welcome on the third floor of the Lawrence Public Library, the big old cement thing on the Common, on the North Common, that has the most beautiful view of Camp Young Common anywhere in the city, including City Hall. And my exhibit is up through the beginning of December. It holds posters that were in the old library building 100 years ago. So please come. In 1918, the Red Sox won the World Series. Straw hats were the height of fashion, cigarettes were 6 cents a pack, and businesses had started using the war as a selling point in ads. The mills were active and the workers were employed. 2 regular companies, as well as the 102nd Field Artillery and a sanitary detachment of the 101st Field Artillery, and the 5th Massachusetts Infantry Drum Corps were raised in Lawrence. A number of other units were organized and sent overseas. Most Lawrence boys were trained at Fort Devens. The local National Guard was replaced by 1,000-man emergency police force of the Massachusetts State Guard. Various individuals coordinated mechanics for necessary war work, food conservation, and distribution of fuel. As the city mobilized, the home front was organized by a local committee of public safety. One of their tasks was preparing land free of cost for the planting of crops. 720 garden plots were prepared on 98 acres throughout the city. Liberty lunches were suggested for school children, which consisted of rye bread and lettuce sandwiches and a banana. 6,150 men and women from Lawrence served in the First World War. Lawrence men fought in these battles. Forgive my French. Chemin de Damme, Toul-Bucos sector, Pas-Fini sector, Aisne-Marne offensive, Saint-Mihiel offensive, Troyon sector, and the Meuse-Argonne offensive. The women served as nurses. 202 died, many buried in Europe. Many more died years later from wounds they got during action or from shell shock, which is now called PTSD. 100 years ago today, the war ended. The Indo Wars ended, and the 11th month, 11th day, that whole thing. That was the name Veterans Day was called when I was a child. My sister, who's a bit older than I am, remembers selling the poppies to people to raise money. Everybody wore the poppy to honor the dead. There have been more wars since then, more servicemen, more sacrifice, so the armistice of 1918 became Veterans Day to include all the veterans before and after. We owe them that much. When the boys came home, there was a big parade. Lawrence always has a parade. Servicemen were welcomed home with dinners and other forms of celebration. There were growing signs of the Spanish flu epidemic, the early stages of it had already arrived in Lawrence. As the century wore on, many veterans were honored and memorials throughout the city. You can see their names many places. Someone on our staff in the old library building had saved a couple of hundred posters that I believe were hung in the library during the war. Both wars, actually, but the exhibit only includes World War I right now. The colors, the artistry, and the information on them are remarkable. Here are two of them. We put some of them up on the walls of the library, but not the walls where they would have been displayed 100 years ago. Some of the posters even had the gummed labels still in the corners, which would have been used to hang them on the walls. There are many servicemen that have been honored in squares and bridges all over the city. Mark LaPlante and I have collaborated in documenting their lives. I have one more comment to add to the commemoration. I wish it had been the war to end all wars. There would be more casualties from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Gulf War, Afghanistan, and Iraq. Let us revel in the knowledge that there will always be servicemen standing up when the country needs them.
Thank you, Louise. It's important that we remember. That's why we have this day. It's a tough time in our nation, but the way I see it, Veterans Day is a way of renewing our hope in a better nation. At this time, I'd like to invite Junior ROTC on up for a speech.
Mark time, march. Ready, pace. Present, arms. Order, arms. Half right, pace. From leaning right position, move. NK it is, exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get up. Half left, pace. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you for your service.
Number 1 and number 3. 3 steps to the rear, march. Center, face. Ready, spin. Ready, spin. Right, face, forward, march.
Octavio Aziz Nunez, he came in my office and visited me. And I explained to him that it was our Veterans Day. If he would like, I'd give him an opportunity to address our veterans who might be attending the event. So, he's here, and without further ado, along with him is my lovely sister, Marissa Melendez, who will translate for him. But I'd like to give him the opportunity to speak to our veterans. Thank you.
Muy buenos días, que Dios le bendiga a todos ustedes.
Good morning. May God bless everybody present.
A tantos hombres valientes y de gran amor que han dado su juventud por el servicio de un deber patriótico.
And to all the veterans who've given their youth to patriotic service.
De una manera muy especial, las autoridades de esta hermosa ciudad, la cual me ha acogido como un hijo más. Me siento muy feliz con el trato que se me ha dado.
And to leaders of this community who have accepted me and have embraced me as a son of the city.
A los concejales y las autoridades, a todos, que han sido un canal de bendición para que la República Dominicana esté aquí en un tiempo tan especial como ustedes.
And to city councilors who've also embraced me for me to be here present for a special day in the community.
Queremos pedirle a Dios, porque soy pastor, quiero pedirle a Dios que siga derramando abundantes bendiciones en hombres tan valientes y que han entregado su corazón, su espíritu, a deber cumplir.
As a pastor, I also ask God to bless the veterans who have given their lives to service in their community.
Muchas gracias por la oportunidad. Un saludo fraternal y solidario en el amor de Dios para todos ustedes. Como general de brigada de República Dominicana, les deseo a ustedes lo mejor. Gracias por el gran amor que han demostrado para con su país. Los felicito y me siento muy admirado de cada uno de ustedes.
In a fraternal and an embrace and solidarity to this community who has accepted me from the Dominican Republic, I feel very welcome here.
Que Dios bendiga a Norteamérica y que bendiga a los hombres de buena voluntad como ustedes, que lo han entregado todo por este hermoso país. Dios los bendiga.
May God bless this country, and may God bless the veterans who have given their lives to this country. Can the mayor please come forward?
Tenemos un reconocimiento muy especial al señor alcalde de esta hermosa ciudad, porque sabemos que es un hombre que se ha preocupado. Y quiero pedirle a la concejal, por favor, Ana, que venga por aquí también, si es posible, porque es un hombre preocupado, es un hombre entregado y solidario para que las cosas marchen en esta hermosa ciudad de Lawrence.
He'd like to recognize the mayor of Lawrence for his integrity and his commitment so that things march well in this community of Lawrence.
En nombre de nuestra institución de República Dominicana, misionera y cristiana, con 25 años de trabajo, queremos reconocer un hombre de valor, de amor, de entrega, para que el progreso siga avanzando conjuntamente con los concejales y abrazado siempre en el amor de Dios. Vamos a honrar a quien honor se merece.
In the name of our organization that's been working for 25 years, we'd like to recognize the mayor for his valor and integrity in serving this community, along with the city councilors.
Primero le entregaremos el carnet de miembro especial distinguido y más luego el certificado de reconocimiento. En él, señor alcalde, va impreso nuestro amor, nuestro cariño, nuestro respeto a su persona.
First, we'd like to give a badge of membership to become a distinguished honorary member to the mayor of the city of Lawrence. Official photo op.
Estamos entregando un reconocimiento a la labor cumplida, al amor y a la solidaridad.
We are giving this recognition for his labor of love and solidarity for this community.
Que Dios le bendiga.
May God bless him. In appreciation and love for your service to this community, we make this recognition, which we hope you will hang in your office. And we also have Representative Frank Moran to please come forward.
Queremos entregarle a una persona que nos ha tratado con cariño, con amor, Fran Moran. Fran Moran, que por favor pase por aquí, una persona que tiene un reconocimiento de que es un hombre solidario con gran corazón. Queremos reconocer a los hombres de fe, a los hombres de valor que han asumido esta misión con sinceridad y con respeto para avanzar el progreso de esta hermosa ciudad.
We'd like to recognize people of honor and integrity who have advanced the progress of this community, and that's why we're recognizing Representative Frank Moran. now become a distinguished member of their organization. And the certificate of recognition from their organization, straight from the Dominican Republic, for their service commitment to this community. In the name of our country, we thank you for your service.
Yo le quiero entregar algo también de la Cámara de Representantes. I also want to recognize him from the Massachusetts House of Representatives for the citation. And it reads as follows: por su aporte de ayuda humanitaria a las personas de la República Dominicana, firmado por el Speaker of the House of Representatives y yo, Frank Moran. Muchas felicidades. Gracias por todo.
Y ahora el director de Servicio Veterano. And now for the Veteran Service Director, Jamie Melendez.
Jaime Meléndez, una persona que nos ha tratado con mucha distinción, con mucho cariño cuando estuvimos en oficina.
To Jamie for treating us with distinction and honor when we visited his office.
También sabemos que fue un hombre que entregó su fe y su valor y su entrega como soldado para el fortalecimiento de esta nación.
And we also recognize that he did his service with faith and strength to this wonderful country.
Es un honor entonces reconocerle por sus labores y por su deber cumplido para seguir avanzando con el compromiso que la nación necesita de hombres valiosos como él y como todos ustedes que están ahí sentados.
And to recognize that he continues his efforts to recognize veterans and people who serve our country. And now he will get his distinguished membership badge and his recognition of service certificate. Big round of applause for their service.
At this time, if you would please stand for our closing prayer.
Let us again bow our heads in prayer. God of love, of peace, thank you very much for the opportunity to gather this morning to honor all our veterans. And inspired by their example and the experience we have shared today, may we continue our remembrance through the rest of the day, and may we support our men and women in uniform with our prayers, our time, and our treasure. Keep us strong in our faith, our loyalty, and dedication to the ideals upon which this nation was built and still stands, that it may remain the land of the free and the home of the brave. Amen.
Thank you. Please remain standing for the dismissal of the colors. Color guard, dismiss the colors.
Color, march. March back, march. Left, take. Retreat, color. March back, march. Left, take. Color, hold. Freeze that, arm. Order, arm.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's Veterans Day ceremony. Again, please join us for some refreshments in the foyer, and thank you for attending. On behalf of Mayor Rivera and the Department of Veteran Services and this humble servant, thank you for being here today.